We are live. This is the market update. Welcome to the perfect environment for crypto. I am your host, Bill Noble. It does not get any better than this. You want to hear about Bitcoin? Stay here. You want to hear about Ethereum? Stay here. You want to know why XRP is up 7%? Stay here. Solana is next. If you look at Crypto Week, the bills that are going to pass and the orange man's behavior, because he actually may be sick. I actually looked it up. He actually may be really sick. But if you look up his behavior, the deficit spending, and what's going on in crypto, it doesn't get any better than this. If you want to see the details, stay with this show. News. Here it is. Let those weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. There was a saying from the French Revolution where, the poor people revolted against the royalty, and one of the royals said, let them eat cake. And that led to what's called the guillotine. And it was pretty gross and pretty excessive, that revolt. And if you look at the responses on Truth Social, he's getting ratioed on his own platform. So follow me here. They legalized crypto, which is coming. Okay. The orange man basically completely blows himself up, right? Because he's like tripled down on what I would call this law enforcement issue. And then he spends $2 trillion, breaks every single campaign promise, and basically reveals that MAGA could be the biggest scam in United States history. At least that's the optics. Doesn't matter what anybody believes. It's the optics. So if crypto is legal, the optics on spending are horrible. The government's general behavior is horrible. And then they sold all the Bitcoin. That's why the Sovereign Wealth Fund was never created. Either Brandon did it or they did it. You don't know. I'm guessing they did it. Because how did Michael Saylor get all that Bitcoin? Just bought it all from Uncle Sam. When Michael Saylor went to Mar-a-Lago, that's what it was probably about. That's how we got all that Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy is the United States Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. Effectively, the U.S. government is now short Bitcoin because they're going to need it to back their bonds. And guess what? They don't have it. Somebody told me that Ukraine has more Bitcoin than we do. So not only are they making the case for Bitcoin and crypto as a whole, but they're short on top of that. Speaking of being short, all of Wall Street, all of the hedge funds are short Ethereum. Meanwhile, BlackRock continues to hoover it up because if you look at Ethereum versus NVIDIA, Ethereum is an absolute no-brainer, no matter what anyone in crypto says about it. I mean, if BlackRock is buying it and all the mutual funds are buying it, it's going up. Everyone's like, oh, I want the institutions involved. And then they get short. You got to be kidding me. ETH, all it's done is unwind the FT. It's back where it was when FTX started. And then, of course, there's XRP. Like, okay, maybe XRP stops at 330. But what happens if it doesn't? What happens if it doesn't? Like everybody thought Bitcoin was going to hang out at like 114 or 110 and it just blew through. What happens if one of these cryptos gets crazy or the whole rest of the market starts following XRP? Like first Stellar went, and then XRP followed. And then ETH DeFi went, and then ETH followed. What's next? Well, obviously Solana, right? Solana, Avalanche. I mean, these are big cap cryptos that can really, really, really move. Bonk up 20% yesterday. This is happening, right? Like it's altcoin sector rotation in sort of an unbelievable way. Unbelievable way. And you know what? They're going to wind up having to cave on this law enforcement thing, or it's going to get leaked. I mean, there's a scandal from the 70s called Watergate, where they got caught, the president's political party got caught breaking into an office and stealing stuff. It was kind of stupid. And they covered up, they buried it, and it was the end of the president. He had to quit. Not Orange Man's not quitting. But it's pretty clear that, he's unhinged and he doesn't care if the whole world hates him, which is weird. Okay, so this is the CEO of NVIDIA. Okay, and people want their picture taken with them. And last year he was signing like women's undergarments, like autographing, undergarments. Here comes the picture. Okay, so when you have this, you sell. Or you buy something else. It's more like it. Okay, Orange Man keeps pressure on Powell. One thing you have to recognize is that the Fed could be putting high-powered money in the system so that Powell doesn't get fired, right? In other words, in the mind of the Fed, if they put some character in there who lowers rates to 1%, they could have an inflation disaster in their minds, right? Probably what would happen is it would take a lot of pressure off consumers and allow people to buy cars. That's what I think. But in the mind of the Fed, and it makes sense, they want to keep interest rates above the rate of inflation so that it doesn't get out of control again. But he's just going to keep pressure on them, and the Fed's just probably like turn on the high-powered money and get moon risk assets, and he'll get off our back. It's happening. I mean, I don't know, man. In my opinion, you can't make up a more bullish scenario. Spending, politics, the Fed goosing the market, crypto legal, suppressed altcoins, Bitcoin profits rotating into altcoins, BlackRock, just all these mutual funds buying Michael Saylor's paper or his new products, Ethereum, XRP futures. People don't understand that, CTAs buy stuff when it's up. It's a commodity trading advisor. It's essentially the original momentum players. They want to buy high and sell higher. BlackRock is doing massive Ethereum accumulation, and that's been going on for a while. They're draining that out of the system because a lot of ETH is staked. Crypto shorts versus BlackRock. Gee, how's that going to turn out? Duh. Right? Ethereum is heating up. So everyone's got their like Altseason, path. Bitcoin goes up, ETH goes up, large cap altcoins go up. And then you have crazy banana pants. Now, I don't know that you actually need the bottom. I don't know if you need it, because across tech, across crypto, there is so much future of money and so much tech that no one's bought it. And like, for example, Near is in the grayscale AI, like ETF style product. It's like people gave up on all of this stuff. Crazy, Barachain, right? All the new stuff, everyone packed it in on. XRP, huge, right? Some guy thought it would like dip and range, and it didn't dip and range. It just went. We'll go over the charts, and I'll show you why. Okay. The House passed the Bitcoin and crypto bill, and they got the CBDC thing out of it. I think they put that in there so they could stall the bill so they could get more spending out of the orange man, which of course they did, right? French lawmakers want to stabilize their power grid with Bitcoin mining. The French. Right. This thing with Bitcoin mining, you realize you had 3 crypto stocks up 20% yesterday? Altcoins are up 3% and stocks are up 20. Am I in the twilight zone? We're living in the twilight zone. We are. Bonk completely pumped up back from a dump. So they unloaded on Bonk and then they just took it right back up again. That's got to be hedge funds, right? If they think it's a one meme market, they have to go in. And in my opinion, Pepe is next. $1 billion worth of shorts will get liquidated in ETH above 10%. If ETH pumps another 10%. So they're short perpetuals. Now, they may be short perpetuals against long ETH, but they're hedged. And hedges are things that little doggies pee on. So hedges never work out. And then there's the hedge funds that are short, probably the perpetuals, and they're short in the legacy Ethereum futures market. Just, I mean, like I said, when ETH goes, it goes straight up. It goes straight up. Like, let's just get the chart out. People don't understand that back in 2020, when the Fed goosed the market, okay, it went straight up, right? I mean, it was like, this is December of 2020, after DeFi summer, went from 585 to 2000, ranged, and then it just went straight up. That's it. This is how ETH moves. It either does nothing or it just completely explodes. People don't understand what's happening here. They don't. They don't understand why it's happening, and they don't understand what's going to happen. People are like, oh, there's resistance at 3,500. No, there isn't. I mean, yeah, the target ETH broke out. I mean, look at this. ETH was in a diamond, and then, Luxalgo has this like expanding range. Expanding triangle. Look at this, right? It just broke out of the top of this. I mean, I haven't seen something like that since the QE era in equities. Whoop. See ya. Minimum target on that is 4,100. XRP. So today was supposed to be the dip day on the 4-hour chart. Today was the dip day, and it maybe it dips, okay? But on the daily chart, okay, remember this? We talked about this 2 days ago, right? Like, this was your dip right there, and this could be 2 up weeks. It could be, because it's nothing but green. There's a blue sky up here. XRP is at like Lux Algo style resistance. There's a Fibonacci, circle line here. Okay. You know what? Whatever. It did matter in Bitcoin, so it may not matter in XRP. It may not, right? It's fast money. They've already got partnerships, and sovereigns are just totally idiotic. And then as soon as this thing is legal, I don't know, man. New York is going to come in, look at this, and be like, oh my God, we got to buy this futures contract. I mean, I want to tell you it's like super complicated and you need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. But guess what? You don't. Altcoins steal the show. Everybody looking at Bitcoin. Nobody long altcoins. There was no seller in Bitcoin. Where's the Bitcoin supply? Our supply is gone. There's miners. That's it. That's why the stocks are all up 20%. Now, this is the next blow up. So hedge funds are going to get blown out in ETH. They weren't long Bitcoin, and they're short MicroStrategy. I mean, if MicroStrategy is the strategic Bitcoin reserve, forget about it. That creates an additional moat around the company. Nobody could get the amount of Bitcoin that Sailor has. They include sovereigns. They would have to buy MicroStrategy to get all the Bitcoin. It's not happening. I mean, seriously, it's not happening. ETH ETF, $726 million daily. It's a question of time before this is like multiple billions. Deep demand shift. Like what? BlackRock's going to stop buying? World Liberty token cleared to become a tradable token. They have truckloads of ETH. They have Avalanche for security tokens. Now the Orange Man's brand, nobody's going to be buying watches, and, who knows what they're going to think of World Liberty, but there is a reason why they're into this. They deficit spent themselves into oblivion. Coinbase rebrands its wallet as Base. Look at this. Coinbase finally got their act together. USDC on Coinbase. Who would have thought that USDC, Circle, and Coinbase would explode, and crypto and altcoins would get left in the dust? That wasn't on anyone's bingo card. Now, just in case you think I'm ever going to get off this narrative, you should think again. So the wearables trap, how Uncle Sugar plans to monitor, score, and control you, right? Like glasses or the future or your watch or whatever. Right, exactly. Like, let's put it this way. Like, they just lied to you. Right now, why did they lie to you? I don't know. I don't know. Either because they don't care and they just wanted power, or they're compromised in some way. They're literally owned by somebody else. This is an early Bitcoin guy. This is one of the guys that was responsible for getting Bitcoin off the ground and made Bitcoin Cash, which is fast Bitcoin. And they want to put him in jail for tax evasion. And he's trying to sue the country he's living in to stop them from sending him back here and going to jail for 100 years. Hopefully, if that happens, the Orange Man has enough sense to pardon this guy, along with this dude who wrote the Tornado Cash code and is being accused of allowing hackers to use the protocol and not stopping them when it's decentralized. Another candidate for a pardon. Either way, if they take down Tornado Cash, there's my boys from Antivirus who have the same type of ETH Sol that we have. Antivirus has ETH Sol and cross-chain mixer. So, they can't just come and take your money because, they are going to look in on you all the time. Like I said, it was supposed to be the golden age of America. What it really is the golden age of the rebellious component of crypto. I mean, like I said, does it get any better than this? Blown Ideas wants the Bill meme coin. Sounds excellent. SGSG, the original. Ben from Down Under, Tyler Hall. Could it be better? Not really, honestly. Right? Roby, Yav, Miguel, right? Kevin Warmon, who I think is another original, right? Javier, Malik, Thomas, right? Side Hill Forging, Babelo, what's up? The force is strong in this one. Dude, this thing is just, I mean, it is radical. I mean, this ETH BTC thing, just in case you didn't understand, the market's about to make everybody understand. You realize this is at equilibrium, right? They haven't even taken out the start of the give up trade. They haven't, this was clearly the give up trade, right? The ETH goes to 0, ETH goes to 1400 or whatever joke it was. I mean, ETH versus Bitcoin could go up another 40%. And still be like, look at this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? People like Altseason, look, you only need 4 coins for Altseason, right? You need ETH, Solana, XRP, and maybe one other, right? It could be Sui, could be Avalanche, could be all the above. How long do you think it's going to take before normies start going after stuff like Litecoin? They're all going to come. ETH prints 4,000. You're going to have normies flooding into Coinbase. I mean, the good news about this is I don't have to shout into the microphone. I mean, look at these crypto stocks, right? We talked about this yesterday. BT, up, down into support, up 20%. Galaxy Digital. What's going to stop any of this? You realize where this stuff's going to open today? It's nuts. MicroStrategy only up 3%. Luxalgo insert support underneath. You got 1 day down. And it's going to go up 20%. I mean, this short covering rally with hedge funds, like they're all long Bitcoin, which is not moving, right? Because it doesn't want to go through 120. And they're short MicroStrategy, and they're just going to get blown out. They're short ETH. They're going to get blown out. They don't own the XRP futures contract. The bus is left without them. The bus is left without them. A lot of these characters are long gold. I mean, there's a case for gold here for clearly. It's a nice little triangle formation, but they're long all the wrong stuff. They're long the wrong stuff. I mean, but you're going to buy NVIDIA? Really? Really? There's no decentralized AI play that you can get involved in. None. I mean, do you really, really, really want these guys controlling your life? I mean, I say this in some form or another every day until the orange man tells you to go eat cake. Done. Right? Whether he's sick or not sick. See it. Now, why he's doing that? He's a jerk. Okay, maybe. Okay, someone's influencing him so he doesn't go to jail. Secure his family's future. Maybe. Especially if he's sick. Just give all these characters what they want. They got what they want. And guess what? It's the globalist. It's the anti-human agenda. Want to get pro-human? It's called the green button. And again, the good news is I don't have to get that loud about it. I mean, I am loud about it, but I heard guys on like Discover Crypto going, "Oh yeah, I got to watch out for Peter Thiel." Dude, we were on this like 2 months ago. This thing was in a bear market. It looked like it was good. Everyone's like, it's at 0. It's never going up again in our lifetime. Oh my God. This just started. 3rd inning, American baseball. Okay, that is the market update for today. We will see you tomorrow.